This is my 2024 Q3 BookTube spin. So the BookTube spin is a TBR game, and it was brought to BookTube by Rick McDonnell. It was popular, I believe, on book reading blogs, and the purpose was to make a list of 20 books, usually putting them into, 4 categories, and then you would spin a wheel up to the number 20, and whichever number you land on is the book you would read. So I've taken this tag and kind of run with it for the last couple of years. I have a pretty static list right now of books that don't change and categories that don't change. My first category this year is Jewish romance, then I go on to general literature, then science fiction, and then fantasy. And I spin the wheel 3 times each game, and I read the book corresponding to the number from the genre I've read least recently in the game. So if you look here, I have a list of what I've chosen for each quarter for the last few quarters. And the genre I read from least recently is fantasy, so I'm hoping to go for fantasy or science fiction. And another thing I do to maybe make it a little easier and cheat the gods of chance, if you will, is every time I choose a book, well, at least starting at the beginning of 2024, I take that number from the board. So I have a Q1 pick and a Q2 pick, which technically I haven't read yet, but I'm going to very soon. And those 2 numbers are no longer in the running for me. So I'm technically playing with 18 numbers. And then at the end of all this, if you want to play along, I will do a spin with all 20 numbers. So yeah, that's the general gist of the game. And the big thing I have to do now is share my board with you. So without further ado. So yes, first we're starting with Jewish romance, and book number 1 is Imogen, Obviously, by Becky Albertalli. This is YA romance with nominally Jewish characters. Imogen is a high school senior. She thinks she's straight and an LGBTQ ally. But when new relationships have her questioning her sexual identity, she's accused of identity appropriation. Seems kind of hard-hitting about policing others in the name of social justice. I have Nixed number 2 as my Q2 pick, so moving on from there, book number 3 is Recommended for You by Laura Silverman. Bookseller Shoshana is gunning for a holiday bonus, but the only thing standing in her way is annoying, non-literary, hot Jewish bachelor, Jake Kaplan. I think we know where this goes. Book 4 is The Matzo Ball by Jean Metzler. Rachel Rubenstein Goldblatt has made a name for herself writing Christmas romances, but now her publisher wants a diverse book about Hanukkah. So Rachel attends a famous winter Jewish singles event, the Matzo Ball, where she sees her old camp archenemy, Jacob Greenberg. But it's been a long time since camp, just saying. And then book 5 is Meant to Be Mine by Hannah Orenstein. Edie's grandmother, Gloria, predicted the exact date Edie would meet her beshert, Yiddish for soulmate. But although she meets an attractive musician at the right time, Edie finds out that predetermination isn't as simple a concept as she believed. What if a relationship includes some rocky waters as well? All right, moving on to general literature and book number 6, which is Cowboys and East Indians, a short story collection by Nina McConley. These center on immigrants and cultural collisions in the American West, as seen through the eyes of outsiders. Got to appreciate that title, too. Number 7 is The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. This is spanning several decades, and we start with an illicit love affair between a Greek Cypriot and a Turkish Cypriot. We follow war and displacement and commentary on the natural world. Book 8 is Search by Michelle Huneven. A food writer joins her church's search committee for a new minister in this novel, leading to humorous ruminations on the inanities of church politics. I kind of want a Jewish version of this as well. In this one also, there's recipes. Number 9 is The Other Wes Moore by Wes Moore. Wes Moore is my governor in Maryland, a successful Black American, and here he tracks down an imprisoned drug dealer who shares his name, age roughly, and city of origin. This is a testament to what helps kids succeed and fail. And finally, I am nixing number 10 as my Q1 pick. Moving on to science fiction and Book 11, Provenance by Anne Leckie. A fugitive looks to reclaim stolen treasure in space and finds herself embroiled in an alien plot, literally. Number 12 is Ancestral Night by Elizabeth Bear. A routine salvage mission in space goes awry when an ancient technology is uncovered. Number 13 is Pushing Ice by Alistair Reynolds. A rockhopper crew is tasked with tailing one of Saturn's moons as it breaks orbit and leaves the solar system. Number 14 is Dark Orbit by Carolyn Ives Gilman. This is alien contact on a distant planet with more of a murder mystery-centered plot than is my usual, but we will go with it. And then number 15 is On the Edge of Gone by Corinne Doivas. As a comet moves to strike Earth in this YA novel, our teenage protagonist fights against an unjust system to survive. And finally, my last category is fantasy. We're starting with book 16, which is A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula Le Guin. This is a YA classic about a young sorcerer who tampered with long-held secrets and unleashed a terrible shadow onto the world. 17 is The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. A man discovers his fate is tied up with that of an empire, and he may be here not to save the world, but to destroy it. Number 18 is The Vanished Queen by Lisbeth Campbell. A woman vows to take down a despotic king, and surprise, surprise, finds herself embroiled in court politics. Number 19 is A Queen in Hiding by Sarah Kozloff. An orphaned princess becomes a guerrilla fighter and must assemble a group of rebels to take back her kingdom. And finally, number 20 is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. A young peasant girl discovers she has an unearthly power, but the war she fights for her god may cost her her humanity. All right, and all I have left to do from here is to give my fate over to the digital cosmos, and I'll start with spin number 1. Okay, and the BookTube spin has started me out with science fiction number 14, which is Dark Orbit by Carolyn Ives Gilman, which is close to what I wanted, but not quite that, so we're going to keep going, but this is on the board. Okay, on to spin number 2. Spin 2 was number 8, which takes us to General Literature and Search by Michelle Hunevan, but I read from General Literature back at the beginning of the year, so far from the two of them, I would choose the science fiction pick, but I have one more chance to get fantasy. Let's see what happens. All right, and here we go finally with spin number 3. And the BookTube spin was not kind to me this time around. Number 3 takes us back to Jewish romance and Recommended for You, which I am currently reading from now, or will be reading from soon, for a belated quarter 2. So anyway, I was hoping for fantasy, and I did not get fantasy, but it's been a little while since I've read science fiction, and I guess I'm going to be mixing up my past reads. And all of this to say that my quarter 3 pick is going to be Dark Orbit by Carolyn Ives Gilman. This has been on my board, my list for a long time. I think I'll enjoy this spacefaring romp even with the murder mystery stuff. Hopefully it'll make it more fun. I will report back. And finally, if you'd like to play along with all 20, here is my audience spin. All right, everyone, the wheel has chosen number 7, so I hope whatever you put in that space is something you would find enjoyable. And that about covers it for me now. I will leave Goodreads links to all of the books I mentioned here linked down below. And I'm moving on to my second major TBR game that I play. I play this one monthly. It is my page 112 tag, where I play with my physical unread shelves and choose books between comparing their page 112s against each other. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I hope you're having fun choosing your reading and getting to your reading. And if you played along with this, I'd love to hear what you chose to read. And thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.